Okay, welcome everybody to creating fast landing pages. This is my demo that I'm putting together for you to show you how you can quickly create a landing page in WordPress in roughly an hour. So the idea behind everything that I'm doing here is to just show you how you can quickly create a web page, a landing page for any product or service that you're offering. And the idea behind it is that you are going to have a page that you can centralize your buyers to go to in order to purchase your product or service. Now, a lot of people have asked while I had this while I had the invite out for this webinar, a lot of the questions that came through were relating to what the difference is between a landing page and a web page. And the best way to look at it is a web page, a landing page is specifically directed toward promoting one product or service. And the whole idea behind that page is to get people to purchase that product or service. So, for example, if you are an author and you have 5 different books, you may have an author page that features all of your books, but then you're also going to have a landing page for each one of your books. And the purpose of doing that is, for example, if you, at the end of your book, somebody reads your book, you have 4 other books available, and on the last page of your book, you can say, okay, well, I have also authored this book. If you're interested in A, B, and C, then click here to purchase this book. Or, I've also written this book. If you're interested in X, Y, and Z, click here to purchase that book. The idea behind having a landing page is that people can click on it and immediately find where they can purchase the book in less than a second. So as soon as they see the page, they can click buy. Now, if they go to your author page, they may have to click on books and then click here, and then they're going to get, they may get distracted with other information that you have on there. There's a different purpose for a web page versus a landing page. And what I'm here to show you today is how to set up a landing page. Now, some of you have asked about purchasing the theme. I do have a special link here that'll take you to purchasing the theme. I'm going to put that in the chat box here in case you have not picked up the theme that we're using. If you do pick it up through this link, then just send me a question in the question box, and I'll make sure that you have your access information here live on the call. So that will be http:// If you are trying to see the theme itself, the information on the theme, hopefully you got that in the email that I had sent to you. You can just take the get off of the URL there, and that'll take you to the regular page so you can see the demos and everything. But we're going to go through that over here as well. Someone's asking how long the theme will be available for. The theme is available. It's been available, so you can pick it up at any time. It's just right now. If you grab it, then I can make sure you have your access right away while we're on the call here, and you can kind of follow through with as we're going through here. So as I had indicated in the email, I wanted to set up a page for somebody here live on the call. So somebody who may have a product or a service or a book that they want to see a page made live for. And at the end of the call, I will go ahead and transfer the page that we've created either onto your server or onto your domain. Or if you don't have a server or domain, I will help you set one up. So don't let that be a deterrent. Just go ahead and tell me what your product or service is, and I will pick one just based off what I think I can create just from the top of my mind really quickly, just writing the information out. A lot of what I'm going to be doing here is just writing the information off the top of my head as far as descriptions and things like that. However, the great thing with WordPress is you can easily edit the information as you need to. And hopefully by going through the information here, you will be able to understand exactly where you would need to go to send, to make the various edits. So why do we need a landing page? One of the primary reasons that we set up the landing page, in addition for having just an easy link that people can go to in order to purchase whatever product it is that you're trying to promote, is to collect and build an email list. So that's one of the primary reasons. You'll see that ListPress, the theme that I created, it very predominantly allows you to collect emails from people who are coming in, either by offering them some sort of incentive to sign up to your email list. A lot of times what I do is, I'll show you one of my examples too, is I give them a preview of one of my books. I let them read like a chapter or, you know, X number of pages for free. They could download that for free if they just sign up on my list. There's other strategies that you can also incorporate, and I have actually a PDF discussing some of the strategies that you can do in order to collect an email list. But the main thing is you want to make sure that very predominantly on your landing page you have an area where people can sign up to your email list. The second thing that you want to also do is you want to have a central place where your product can be purchased. And you know, the reason for that is, like, if you have a book, say you have a book and it's on Amazon, and you know, if you want people to buy your book, then you don't want to have to tell people, well, go to Amazon and search for lose weight within 20 days or whatever the title of your book is, and then, you know, there might be other books that come up, or it'll be confusing, or you have to ask them to do a search on your name, and then, you know, hopefully they spell your name right. It's so much easier to just get an easy domain that you can just tell people, go to lena.com or whatever, you know, something easy that will relate to whatever your product or service is, and you can you know, you can lead people directly to your product that way, and you don't have to worry about whether they get lost along the way. So it kind of provides a direct path to your product. Very useful for if you have a book, if you're going to you know, put links at the end of your book to each individual product so that people can make the decision right while they're in your book as to which book they want to purchase, without getting sidetracked or confused by having too many choices that you present them with after they've already made a choice. Okay, next. You want to also have one place that you feature information that will help you sell that particular product, or it could be an affiliate product. It might be that you're making a landing page for an affiliate product, and I make landing pages for affiliate products all the time. Like, for example, I have a book that I wrote about writing, and there's a lot of books that I recommend people to read about writing, and I create a landing page. You know, since we can't put affiliate links in our books, I create a landing page for the books that I recommend for each one, and I tell people, if you enjoyed this book, these are the books that I would recommend that any person who is a writer should read. And they can click on it and go right directly to the book and have information on why I think that book is the book to read. In addition, if it's one of your own products, you might have videos or media coverage or different statistics that might help further sell that product or service to whoever it is that is expressing an interest in it. Let's see. Now, just to clarify, you can create landing pages for a book. You might have a product that you're selling. Like, for example, you might sell skincare products. So that might be something that you can create a landing page for people to purchase your skincare products. You might have a service that you're offering. You might have coaching services, or you might have something to that effect. An affiliate product, like the example that I just gave as far as recommendations that you want to put in your book. Landing pages, as your career grows on the internet, you might just amass tons of landing pages. I don't even know how many landing pages I have, hundreds of them for all kinds of different products, and you know, the landing pages all link into different products and services that I have on the internet, and it just kind of forms a real intricate web. And the art of it is that you just sort of make sure that you You make sure that the products and services that you're offering are relevant to the products and services that have already been purchased. So if somebody purchases a book, like for example, my writing book, somebody purchases a book about writing, I have great recommendations of other books, and they're very relevant to people who purchased that particular product will definitely be interested in those particular recommendations. So just avoid having recommendations that you make across the board on every product or service. You want to make sure that the product or service that you're recommending is relevant to the people that are reading or seeing that particular book or service or product. Okay. Let's see. Now, let me bring up my screen here. Okay, so now those of you that have purchased ListPress, you will have access to a whole bunch of videos. When you log in and you get your access. If you click on tutorial videos right here, this is the page that you'll get. If you did not purchase ListPress, there is a video here that I'm going to share here. There. Okay, so now this video right here, that's the very first video on the tutorial page, is an hour-long video of me setting up a landing page starting from scratch with no hosting and no domain. So I'm going to put that over here because just in case you didn't purchase ListPress, I want you to be able to access that video because that video kind of goes into a lot of the basics of how to register a domain name and how to set up a server. So let me put that in here. Okay. So just maybe keep that somewhere handy. You can kind of take a look at that. And this is just basically from beginning to end setting up a website starting with no domain. But for the purpose of this webinar, I'm assuming that you already have a server and you already have a domain. And a lot of times, people, if you're not sure how to proceed once you register your server, then, give a call to your hosting's support, technical support, and ask them if they can help you install WordPress, because that's the next step, is making sure that you have WordPress installed and your domain set up on your server. And a lot of the companies that will offer you hosting, they will also allow you to register the domain name through them. And a lot of them will give you the domain name for free. A domain name generally should cost $10 or less per year. So for every domain name that you have, you'll be paying roughly $10, sometimes less. It kind of depends on the extension of the domain name. I always try to recommend people to get .com names and also, something that's easy. So don't misspell the words, don't have dashes in there if possible. And sometimes, if you have a title of a book that's sort of a popular phrase or something, it might be a little bit challenging to get something that's easy, but it's well worth the time and effort to just try to find something that is easy to remember. So register the domain name, call your host, and then ask your host to set up the domain name on that server and ask them to set up WordPress for you. And then once you're at that point, then you will basically be at a screen that looks like this, roughly. The very next step of what you'll need to do is install ListPress. So now first you get the server and the domain, and then you install WordPress, and you can have your host help you with that. And I'm not going through that process because it's sort of different with each host. Every host has, it varies a little bit in terms of how the control panel is set up and such. But if you're not comfortable doing it yourself, it's something that you would you would very easily be able to get your host to help you with in terms of installing WordPress. So then installing ListPress. ListPress is a theme. There's a whole variety of themes that are out there that you can use to set up a web page. The reason that I'm using ListPress is it's one of my themes, and it's a theme that I created specifically to attract opt-ins. So right over here, you'll see that wherever you go on the site, your eyes automatically revert to this area right over here where it's offering you some sort of incentive to fill in this form to put in your name and email address. You know, this layout is tested. I've used it for a lot of different projects, and I've had great success with it in terms of the ratio of people who come to the site and actually fill out the form. There have been some instances where, you know, I had a really good campaign running, and this particular layout resulted in 1 out of 2 people filling out the form, which is incredibly those are incredible statistics. And then, you know, sometimes it might be something like 10%, but the idea is that you want to try to have as many people that come to your site fill out that form as possible. So a lot of that kind of boils down to where your traffic is coming from and what their intention is with coming to the page. But that's the reason that I use a page like this for my landing page, because I want it to be a layout that is directly related to an action. So if you're looking at other themes and you're looking at other layouts, a lot of times you'll find there's a lot of very pretty layouts out there, and if that's what you're going for, then, you know, that's great. The purpose of the landing page and most landing pages that I make is to either get the email address or to sell a product. And a lot of times the pretty websites don't necessarily don't necessarily correlate with those goals. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're picking your theme. This theme, in particular ListPress, specifically has that as a goal. So I realize it's not the prettiest site out there, but that's not the goal of the site. So let me make this a little bit bigger so I could zoom in a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to real quick go through installing a theme for those of you that are new to it. We won't spend a lot of time on that. Just want to make sure that if you are new to installing themes, that you have the basic information to do that. Basically, if you go to Appearance over here, and then you click on Themes, when you download the theme, either my theme or any other theme, it's going to be a zip file that you will have downloaded. So that zip file, you don't have to unzip it or anything like that. You can upload the entire file right into WordPress. You just go into, let's see, themes. Oh, I have this on a different kind of setup, so it's going to be a little confusing. Usually, because I have this on a multi-setup, usually there'll be a link right here that says Upload New Theme, and you would just click on Upload New Theme and then put your zip file directly into that form. And then it'll automatically show up like this right here, and you can just click Activate, and it'll activate the theme. So this particular theme, when you activate it, it will look like this. So this is sort of what it looks like without any edits being done at all. The very first thing that we would need to do, well, let's first pick out, I'm going to go through some of the comments that have been put here. Go ahead and post your questions here. Towards the end, I'll kind of sift through the questions and try to answer as many of them as I can. Let's see. I'm just looking for a product that will make Okay, just bear with me while I pull up a book here. Okay, so this is a book that I just sort of picked out from one of the viewers on here today. This is Robert's wife's book. Looks like it is a mystery book, fiction. Okay. So, and it looks like it's part of a series. Okay. So, and I think, when we do projects like this, and, even if the product or service that we are making a page for doesn't necessarily relate to what you are trying to make a page for, there is a learning process there that you can really benefit from, because the process of creating a landing page in some respects is the same no matter what the product or service. And then there's a process of just sort of on the fly creating the content and the sentences and the various areas of the site that we're going to be prompting people to act upon their the process of whatever it is that we're trying to get them to do in order to get them to fill in that opt-in form. So I'm going to just right-click on the image and click on copy image, since I don't have the if it's your book, then you would have a you would have the image file most likely. Okay. So now what I did is I right-click on the file here, and I went to copy image, just because, and this might be what you would do if you have if you are trying to promote another book that's not your book, but it's sort of a recommendation that you're making to other people that are reading your book. Like maybe, for example, when someone reads this book, well, since this is a series, you're going to recommend them to read the next book in the series. So at the end of your book, you're going to want to say, read the next book, whatever the title might be of this series. But say this is just a one-off book. It's not part of a series. It might be a romance book or whatever. You might want to recommend a different romance book. Maybe you have friends that also write romance stories and you want to recommend their books. So you would get an affiliate link from Amazon, so that people who purchase that book, you'll get a commission for. And it's a great way to promote your friends and make a little bit of extra money because you'll make a cut off of every book that is purchased. And it's not just that book, actually every purchase that's made from somebody who clicked on that link. So even if they buy a different book, you'll still get a little bit of commission over a period of time. Okay, so what I did is I right-click on here and I hit copy image. And then this process here, you can either do yourself or you can have someone else do. I just went into Photoshop and I went to File, New, and then I just hit OK over there, and it gave me a blank square here, and I hit Paste. So Edit, Paste, which takes the image that I copied off of the internet and puts it into this file. So now what I'm going to do is you'll see that I have two layers over here. I have the background and I have the main image. I'm going to hide the background, and then I also want to make this image transparent. So to do that, there is a little button right here. It's called the Magic Wand. It's the fourth one down, and it'll say Magic Wand Tool. You'll see that a little thing comes up that says Magic Wand, and you just click on the white, and once you click on the white, you hit Delete, and then you'll see there's a little checkered background. So that means that this image is now transparent. Now, the other thing that you could do, if you don't want to go through this process yourself, there's a lot of people on Fiverr that'll take an image and make it transparent for you and size it to whatever you want to size it to. So if you want to, you could spend the $5 to have someone do that for you. But hopefully you can, if you're doing a lot of images, it's very easy to do, as I'm showing you here. You could just watch the replay of this webinar and do it yourself. Save yourself the $5 times however many books you end up having to create. Okay, so now I am going to resize this to the image that the size of the image that's required within the theme. And my theme has I'll show you once we go back into the theme where it shows the dimensions, but I just kind of know what the dimensions are. Okay, so to resize, there's proportionate resizing, and then like this is a square, so it's 300 by 300, and I'm going to need to make this 250 by 309. So it's sort of a disproportionate size from where I'm at right now. If it was a proportionate resize, then I would go to image size, but since it's not proportionate, I'm going to go to canvas size. So I'm going to go to canvas size. I'm going to pick pixels because you can see I'm working with pixels, 300 by 300. I want this width to be 250, and I want the height to be 309. And then I hit OK. And there we go. So now I want to save this image because this is going to be the image that I will use when I'm saving it. I'm going to save it as a PNG file so that the transparency is preserved. I'm just going to call it book cover so that I can find it when I'm ready for it. Now, if you are wanting to make this into a 3D image, then there's also an easy way to do that. I'm going to just show you how to do that. Now, if you're wanting to make it into a 3D image, first thing you would have to do is sort of get just the cover. So we're going to get rid of this Kindle edition and look inside, and we're going to crop it. So crop it kind of means just taking out the white space, but it looks like I didn't really get that really good. Oh, I just zoomed in right there. So zoom in. Okay, I'm going to draw a square a little bit closer to the edge of that. Okay, now I'm going to hit crop. Okay, so now this is just the cover by itself. I'm going to need to resize it to be trying to remember what the dimensions are so if you buy ListPress, there's a little software application that you also get, which is right here. It's 3D cover. And you'll see it's going to ask you to make the dimensions 625 by 1000. So let's go over here and see if we can. Okay, so when you're resizing an image, if it looks like the dimensions are not proportionate, but what we're going to do on this one is we're going to make the height 1000. I'm going to need the width to be 625, but I'm just going to crop it a little bit. So we'll go ahead and resize it, and it's going to be a little bit fuzzy. Hopefully, if you have the original cover image, then you wouldn't have to worry about that. But since we're just taking this off of Amazon right now, 625. Okay, so now I have an image that is 625 by 1000 of the book cover. So let me save this. Now this I'm going to save as a JPEG. Okay, now I can go into this app. Book cover flat. Okay, so this is the image that I just created. I just made it a little bit bigger, a flat image. Again, if you're the artist or if this is your book cover, hopefully you'll already have that. But this is another option of a book cover image that we could use for our page. So I'm going to copy this image. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to New, and then I'm going to paste, and then I'm going to use this magic wand tool to make it transparent. And let's center that a little bit. And I think we got to resize that to the dimensions that I had mentioned, which is 250, and then I'm going to make the height 309. And then let's save this. This will be the 3D version. Make that a PNG file. And I'll just say this one's the 3D version. And this will probably be the one that we use on the landing page. But you have a few different options of what you may want to use, and it's not really like any one is right or wrong. It's just a matter of preference. You could even just use the flat image if you want, and you'll see how it looks on the page itself once we get to setting this up. Okay, so now we have our image. Let's just jump right in and start editing this page. The very first thing that I'm going to want to edit is this right over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a page. We're going to tell people that we're going to ask people if they want a preview of this book. That's a really great strategy for books. Let people read the first couple pages, however many pages, and then in the PDF, when they get to whatever point, you could tell them, if you want to purchase this book, then you give them the link to purchase the book on Amazon or wherever you want to have your book for sale at. So this right over here, we're going to edit this. And all of the options for editing ListPress are right over here under ListPress options. And I am going to edit this main text right here. That's kind of where I'm going to start just because it's like the main text. And that's right over here under main art and text options. There's the main headline and the main tagline. And you have the option of hiding it, but I think we'll probably use both of those lines. And to make anything in red, you just use these brackets and just write red in it, like this. But let's see, preview, let me see, what's Vicki Lee Watkins. I'm just going to copy and paste that so that I don't, whoops. Okay, so basically I'm putting now in red. I'm making the word now in red, and I'm saying preview Vicki Lee Watkins' new book now. And then the main tagline, which will be the line right underneath it, will say, and this is just, I'm just coming up with this off the top of my head, and it's okay to just come up with it off the top of your head. Let's see. For the main tagline, we can say, check out, or let's say something, it's a mystery book, so if you love mysteries, you will love this new book. Preview the first chapter for free right here. And let's say for free, we'll make that red. Okay, I'm going to save those changes. Oops, I think hold on. Did I not make that capital? Those should be lowercase. The instructions are over here too, as far as lowercase and uppercase in the instructions. I just didn't follow my own instructions. There we go. Preview Vicki Lee Watkins' new book now. If you love mysteries, you will love this new book. Preview the first chapter for free right here. Okay, so now the next thing that I want to do is you'll notice that there are these little green boxes here throughout the site. I'm going to go ahead and put in the text for that. And that's the highlighted text areas. And for each of those, you can hide them if you want to. So let's say best-selling author. Writes popular mystery series. And then that's going to come up right over here. And then this one right here can be, I don't know how many are in the series, but let's just say, you know, we can change it. Let's just say it's 5 books in the series. 5. Oops. Five-part series will keep you on the edge of your seat. Preview part 2 of the So that's just a matter of writing 3 sentences. And again, don't get hung up on how don't get hung up on, you know, like whether it's the right phrasing or not, because it's so much easier to edit it once it's all done and once you have it in front of you, and then you can kind of, you know, wait a day or so and then go back and look at it, and it becomes so much easier to sort of figure out what to change. I see some questions coming in, so just hang out and I will get to your questions shortly. The other thing that you might also want to do is, I see over here, you can see that the coloring in her book, sort of a grayscale, there's different color options that you can incorporate. So if you go into general right here, you can control the color scheme of the, so we could say red, for mystery. The background color you can change, which is this gray color right here. We'll just keep that the same right now. The accent color, the color scheme right here, the red would change the color of this red ribbon. The accent color is this green right over here. We can change that maybe to, there's a color picker here so you can change it to pretty much anything. Just make it an orange and see what that looks like. And that's something that you can play with as well. It's pretty easy. You just kind of click and pick the color that you want. You can see like now these boxes are orange. That ribbon right there is red. If you want to play with that, you can kind of pick and see what different colors look like. But we'll just keep that for right now. Now this top part right here, we want to change that so that it doesn't say test site. We don't want it to say just another ListPress site. This goes outside of the ListPress options page. Pretty much everything we've edited right now has been on this ListPress page. But now we're going to go to settings, general, and that's where you set the name of your web page. And the name of your web page is what comes up right here. So you can see it says test site, and then over here it says test site. So we're going to change this to the title of her book, which is Her Last Spoken Word. You could say Part 2 in Exciting Mystery Series. And then we'll save that. Now when we reload that, it'll come up, Her Last Spoken Word, Part 2 in Exciting Mystery Series. So you can see that was pretty quick. We've only been really editing for like 10 minutes because I was kind of talking the first part of this webinar on the importance of landing pages. We did all that in about 10 minutes. And this is something that you can very easily just try to follow along. Just listen to the replay and just follow along and make your landing page as you're watching this video. Or there's another video here also that I showed you in the this very first one that I gave you the YouTube video of. You can do the same thing there. This is for a different book that I wrote that I wanted to create a landing page for, so you can kind of take a look at that as well. Or watch them both and, kind of follow along, and you'll probably catch different tips and tricks watching both of them. A video. Now, video is very easy to make if you have a smartphone. You can just sort of prop your phone up and just give it, like a few words on about your book and why you wrote the book. Definitely you want to have a video in there. Video, it will convert your page so much better if people are able to see you and hear just a few select words from you. Or if you don't feel comfortable talking, then just write a script and have someone on Fiverr recite your script for you on why they should read this book. They can talk about it in third person. They can say, you can have the script written something to the effect of oh, did I just erase? I just erased my, I think I just erased that. Hold on. Oops. Okay. I just accidentally deleted that. My headlines. Okay. Yeah, you can just have someone make a video saying, Vicki Lee Watkins just wrote this book about X, Y, and Z, and the reason that this book is so exciting, just write like a 30-second script and have someone recite it. You can get videos made on Fiverr very cheap, and it will make such a big difference in the fullness of your page, as well as the how the video or how the whole page will convert meaning how many people will actually fill out this form. So I wanted to just show you an example of just how easy it is. This is one of my landing pages that I created. I followed kind of the same formula. Preview the first 8 pages for free. I have a preview that you can get for free. You just opt into my list, and then it'll automatically send you the PDF, which will allow you to read the 8 pages, and then it will ask you to purchase the book from that point on. But I have a video here. It's a very simple video. I just propped my phone up and just talked about my book for about a minute, and just uploaded it in here. Uploading the video on here is very easy. You just go into the video options. The first thing you have to do is upload your video to YouTube. If you're recording your video on your phone should make it very easy for you to just upload the video directly to YouTube. Once you upload the video to YouTube, your video will have a code which will be 11 characters long. And the code you will often see on the URL itself. I'll show you that real quick. Okay, so this is like once you load up a video on YouTube, after you upload it, you might be taking a look at your video on your browser. When you look on the top over here at the address, then you can see the URL says youtube.com/watch v equals, and then there's a code there. That's the easiest way to grab your code. So you could just grab your code right there and then go back into ListPress, and where it says YouTube video code, just paste that in. You can choose the autoplay your video, or if you don't want your video to autoplay, you don't have to put that in. The other thing that you would want to figure out is the text that it says above and below your video. Usually right above the video, I kind of just would say something about what the video is about. So let's just assume that the author is going to be saying something about her book. So we could say, listen to this rare 1-minute interview with Vicky, let me see, make sure I get the name right, Lee Watkins. About this exciting 5-part series. So that's above the video. Then below the video, we can just kind of summarize the reasons why people would want to preview the book. So we can say, preview this book for free right now to the right of the screen. Simply fill out the form and get your preview instantly. You will not be disappointed. Okay, so we'll save that. And then you can see there's my text, there's my video inserted over there. There's other options here too for video. You can have different skins. Like I have it in a computer, I could have it in a spiral notebook, a woman pointing at a board, family peeking out the side of the board. So just to kind of give you an idea, this is what the spiral notebook will look like. Okay. And it just kind of gives a little different background there. And that's the video. All right, now let's go into here and make the edits over here. We already made our image at the beginning of the So we're going to select our file. I have it on the desktop here, book cover 3D. And once the image is uploaded there, you just click on full size and insert into post. And then the custom text on the top of it is just this text right over here, get your reserved copy now. So I'm going to have mine say, preview the first chapter now. The link on the book graphic image basically is going to, if you click on the image, it's going to link to the, it links somewhere. So maybe we'll have that where it can link right here so that people can go to Amazon. And then there's the text over here. We can customize this. So we have it say, fill out or get instant access to the first chapter now. All right, let's see how that looks. And there we go. There's an option right here to click to look inside. You can remove that. I left that in there because if you click to look inside, basically what it's going to do is it's going to take you to Amazon to purchase the book. Now, if you want to make commission off of the clicks that are made to that, then you should put an affiliate link to your book right there so that anytime anybody purchases the book from your page, you'll make a little extra cut. And that's a great way to just make a little bit of extra in addition to your royalties, since you are driving those customers to Amazon. Even though it's to purchase your own book, there's nothing wrong with that. You can have that be an affiliate link. Okay, I got a couple of questions here, so I will get to those. Okay, tablet space. Now the next thing that you would want to do is have people fill out this form. The ideal way to go about it is to use a service such as Aweber or GetResponse. There's several different options that you can do to use a service to manage your emails, and that's sort of how I have this form created over here that came right from my Aweber account, because once you create your list, whether it's Aweber or GetResponse or MailChimp or whatever service you use, there will be an option where once you create the list, you'll create a little form and you can copy and paste the form over here. But say you don't have that quite yet and you just want the raw emails to be emailed to you, there is an option to do that in the theme as well. You could just go right here to Form Settings. Get your preview now. It is absolutely free. And this will be the email address that the leads will get emailed to. So we can say, let's just have that sent to if you want it sent to a second email address, you can just fill that in right there. We don't need an additional form field, or you can if you want to just have people how you heard of Vicki. You could leave the message box in there. We don't need their phone number. Let me read it now. Okay, so if you had your own form, then you would just put the code in right here, but since we don't have that, we're going to just go ahead and use the form that is provided within the theme. Let's see what that looks like. And there we go. Okay, so then once you have the form set up, there's a few options that you can put in. Let me look at her book here. This is something that we could put on. So we have two other books here by Vicki, so let's put that in the bullet points here. There's a section here called Bullet List below the tablet. I think what we'll do here is we'll say more books by Vicki Lee Watkins, so that the bullet list then will make sense. We could just put I'm just going to copy and paste this. For description, we just want to put maybe a short sentence about what the book is about. I'm not sure exactly what the book is about, but let's see if I can kind of get a feel so that I could just write a quick a murder mystery in the little sleepy town of Featherton. Okay. Whoops. Okay, then little paper umbrellas. And this is thriller suspense story. So this is just to kind of show you how this area of the site works. We can, you can edit that, or you can put something else in this space if you wanted to. You can actually make links to the books here. I didn't put the links in because really we want this whole page is specifically for this book. If we want to make links to the other books, there's another section here that I would recommend doing that in, which I'll show you here in a moment. Right here is an area where you can just sort of put the author's name and an image. We don't have an image of the author just yet, but Vicki Lee Watkins, we'll say best-selling author. An acclaimed mystery writer that has kept thousands of readers on the edge of their seat for years. And then if we had an image of the author, then we could, there's dimensions right here. Earlier I told you that the dimensions are indicated in the instructions. So right over here we would need the image to be these dimensions. I showed you earlier how you can resize images in Photoshop, or you could just go to Fiverr and have someone resize an image for you. We'll just keep, let me see if I can find her images here. We can probably do that real quick. Oh, there it is. Okay. So copy that. So go to New, paste it, and then let me see, what are, oops, 216 by 163, so it's going to be a little bit smaller. So we're going to change the width to 216. I think we're going to end up cropping it kind of a little bit. All right, let's hope that this doesn't crop too far up. A little bit too much. Let's see. I'm just making the picture a little bit wider so that we need sort of more of a square image, and this one is it's more of a rectangular one, so we have to kind of finagle with it a little bit. All right, that's a little bit better. Okay, now I'll go in here and just upload that. Once you select the file, then you just select full size, make sure full size is selected, and go insert into post, and then we'll save those changes, and then her information should be right here. There we go. Best-selling author Vicki Lee Watkins has a little bio there which we can edit. The theme also has an option. Now, I always tell authors to make sure you have a Twitter page and a Facebook page. It's so easy to register, and it's It takes literally, it should take you less than an hour to set both of them up. And then that way you have people that you can connect with through Facebook and Twitter. So let's just say that Vicki has a Facebook page and a Twitter page. So I'm going to go over here in social networking and just put in twitter.com. And then, there's options to put in Pinterest, Google+, YouTube. YouTube, you should have a YouTube ID since we uploaded our video. Flickr, LinkedIn. So whichever ones you have, just go ahead and enter them in. And these could be your author links. It doesn't have to be your, and then you'll see that right over there, the Facebook comes up, the Twitter comes up there, and then it also comes up here on the bottom, Facebook and Twitter. And then, whichever other ones you have, it'll automatically insert them in. Now, all of these steps that I'm going through, just so you know, there's a video in ListPress in the tutorial videos. I have a video going through each section of what we're going through. So like we just went through social links. Oh, we went like the bio space. I have a video here specifically going over the bio space. I have a video going over the social links. So pretty much in the same order as what I'm editing it, the videos will show up here. So you can also follow along these videos, or if you get stuck in a specific spot, you don't have to listen to this whole replay to find where we discussed that particular element. You can just go ahead and find the video right here. Now we have, okay, so this is now everywhere where I'm putting in the link to the book, ideally we should be putting in the affiliate link. We just don't have an affiliate link right now, but that's ideally what we should put in. Over here, there's an option under main text right up on the top. You can have an Amazon Kindle link. And then if your book is also available at Barnes & Noble or iBooks, I would recommend putting the links in there too, using affiliate links wherever possible. And then that way right here, if you click on Amazon Kindle, automatically it'll link right to the Kindle page. And it'll show all of wherever your book is available. Some quick questions that are coming up. Where do you put affiliate links to promote other products? I'm getting to that real quick right here, Hannah. Is ListPress just for books, Roger? No, I have actually a lot of demos right here that will show how, let's see, here's a small business site. I forgot which one this one is. A heating and cooling company that's just promoting, trying to build a list. Small business, small local business. But you can pretty much use it for anything. It's a real estate agent for a real estate site. So there's a bunch of different demos to give you ideas over here of what of what the site can be built for. One thing that's common with ListPress though is that there's something that's being offered to people in order to allow them to, in order to entice them to give you their email address. And the easiest thing to give somebody is information. So putting together a little booklet, you can use Wordbotic to create a free report that you use in order to give people to get their email address. Okay, so we did social links, book promo links, the footer. Let's get this footer together really quick. If you want to put an image in the footer, you can put one here. That actually would have been a great one to put the author image. Let me see what the size needs to be. 398 by 308. So let's go over here and let's try to 398. Not quite working. Okay, so I will make this a little bit wider. $398 by 308. Now it should crop a little bit easier. Okay. And you can replace this image. It might be that there's a better image to use that is a little bit more of a square image, but for right now, we'll go ahead and just put this one in just for placement. And then once we're looking at it, we'll know that we need to change that image. Okay, so I go ahead and select my image, and then once again, whenever you're selecting an image here, you just make sure you have full size and insert into post. For the footer, we could say best-selling mystery writer preview book for free now. Or we could say buy get it now, and then the link, right now we just have it going directly to Amazon, but this should be also a link that we change to an affiliate link. We'll go ahead and change that, update that, and we'll see how that looks. And there we go. So a square image will look much better over here. And then this will take you right to Amazon to purchase the link. And you can adjust the wording and all of that there. Probably a transparent image actually would probably look better there, I think. Or maybe just an image of the book itself. Let me see. I think we can probably do that real quick right here. Let's see, we got the 3D image. And 309. Someone asked if the theme is responsive. It certainly is. I'll demonstrate that momentarily. See, this one might look a little bit better in the footer. And sometimes it takes a little bit of experimenting and trying different images to see what looks better. So let's see what that looks like. Okay. Now can you guys see how this is just a really great starting point? We've been working on this for about 35-40 minutes. Oh, I got to get rid of the shadow there, but you can kind of see, oh, I made that transparent too. So I got to fix that image up a little bit. When I made it transparent, I just got to fix that. But overall, sort of the idea. What do I have next here? Testimonials are great to add. If you want to add a testimonial, you can do so. You can also, if you can get somebody that you know to review the book, let me just show you real quick how you would do that. You would just click on testimonials, click on add new, And then you would put the name of the person here. So let's just say Jane from Chicago, Illinois. One of the most thrilling books I have read in a long time. Not sure why that's coming up like that. And then if you want to add an image, let's just pick a random image just to show how it looks. But this is really like if you have a couple friends that support your writing, it's really easy for them to just give you a couple of sentences to say about your book. Then you don't have to worry about taking reviews off of Amazon, because Amazon is a little bit sensitive about you taking their reviews. Or the other question that came up from Roger as far as promoting things other than books, like if you have a small business and you're building for a small business, like say it's a restaurant, if you can have a couple people say some nice words about the restaurant. Okay, I'm just going to put some random images of people. I totally just chose some random images off the internet, so just to demonstrate how this works. So we selected the image, and then you would just click on Set Featured Image, and then the image comes up right there, and then you hit Publish, and we're just going to put one more in, Add New, and we could say this is Sophia from upload the image. This would be person 2. And once it uploads, just select it, hit publish, and then I'll show you what that looks like. And that's going to show up right here. And it's just going to toggle through however many testimonials you have. I would make it where the testimonials are not long. Make it where it can be, you know, just a sentence or two, just so that it's not too overbearing. Is it good for landing pages alone, or can it be used as a blog as well? You can use it as a blog as well. I will show you how you can set up additional pages over here. You can make a blog page and then just make blog posts that update to that blog page. I'll show you that momentarily. Someone had asked earlier how they can add books that they recommend. Let me show you that really quick. Over here where it says books, you could just say add new. Now let's say I don't know whose book this is, but it's one of the ones that's coming up for people who bought this book, also bought this. Let's just say this is a book that she wants to recommend. All you'd have to do is put in the title of the book or whatever it is. And you could use this not just, if you go through these demos, that are up on the top. There's a lot, the sites that are not recommending, that are not for books. Let me see, like I think the real estate site had properties that it was featuring in that area. Yeah, so it's like property listings. You could use this area for a multitude of things, and if you look at the demos, you can get some different ideas of what you can use that space for. But if it's a book, it makes sense to use it for a book. Okay, so I'm going to say copy image URL, set featured image. Oh, I'm going to have to save it. Save image as recommend book 1. This is a great book to pick up as well. If you love Vicki Lee Watkins, you will love this selection as well. And then we want to put the link on how to get there. And this should be an affiliate link as well, but for now it's just a link that goes directly to the book. Then hit publish. Someone is asking if the landing page would be a separate website. A lot of times it would be. Will this work on ClickBank as well? It will work to promote ClickBank products, Bill, for sure. Yeah, as I explained earlier, you want to have a landing page for each product. So that in that way it's different than, for example, an author page or an author website or a publishing website. A landing page, the specific purpose of the landing page is to get people to buy that specific book. So the focus of this whole page is to get people to buy her last spoken word. And this video is about her last spoken word. And all this information is about her last spoken word. And as you get to the bottom, we're just going to make some recommendations. So see how that looks. So this is what our recommendation looks like. We can have multiple books here, and it'll just toggle through all of them. Let me see, we can add one more here real quick. Carol is asking, do you have to have a website through WordPress for this to work? You do not have to register through WordPress in order for this to work. You should have a server where you can host websites, and I can give you some information on that if you need it. There's a lot of places that you can do that, and as I had recommended in the beginning, once you have a server, you can ask the company to set WordPress up for you, and once WordPress is set up for you, then you can follow the instructions here to do that. Okay, recommend book. Okay. So let's do one more book, just so you could see how it looks with two of them side by side. So I'm just saying this is a great book as well. Going to upload the image file for that book. And basically I just saved the image right from Amazon. Depending on what you're promoting, you might, if it's your own book, you might have your own image, which that would be ideal to use your own images. Okay. I'm just going to add the link there, hit publish, and then now it'll show up with two. Okay, now who was asking about the blog? Hannah. Okay, so this is sort of oh, when you're putting this together, you could see, you know, if you, depending on how much text you put in. I'm going to just add a little bit more text here. Just adding in another line here to even out the spacing a little bit. Okay, now if you are wanting to, oh, the other thing that we have to do is we have to add our homepage content, which is right here. We have to change this right here. So whatever content you want to put in this space, we're just going to, just to make things simple for now, we'll use the book description that was used on Amazon. So I'm just going to copy this right here and just go to Pages, Add New. I'm just going to paste that in there. And we'll say about her last spoken word. Oh, okay, so now we have this page set up. I hit update, I hit publish. So now the way that you get that page to show up on the in this area right here, and again there's a video that shows how to do that down over here, setting up homepage content. It's down towards the bottom here. Set homepage content. So if you forget, I go through it in this video here. But let's see, we have, you go to settings and go to reading and then choose a static page, and we just wrote the page about her last spoken word, and it says, you select that under front page displays, hit save changes. And there we go. And we can make it a little bit longer. You can add an image in this space, but that kind of gets us going. Now this right over here, this area is the widget section, and that's just an area of WordPress that we can modify. I'm actually going to get rid of all of this. I just got rid of all of it. But you know, if you wanted to add links or anything like that, then you can put that in the widgets section, which again is under appearance and widgets. There's different options of text you can add there, or a list of links or things like that. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is how to customize the menus, and the menus would be one of the things that you would do to set up a blog or anything like that. The menus are basically what is going to show up in this top space right here. So the very first thing that we want to do is we would want to add our home page. So I don't know what the domain is, but we could just say last spoken word, her last spoken word.com. And we could say that's going to be the home page, add that to the menu. And then about her last spoken word, and we could add that in there, about this book. And then if you wanted to add a blog page, then you could have just added a blog page, made a blog out of posts, and then added the blog page with all the posts right in here. And then when you save it, and it comes up over here, then there'll be a section here called blog, and it can link right to that. You can also put external links in here, like if you have an author page or something to that effect, then you can just go ahead and add that in over here as well. So we've been doing this for just under an hour, and you can see how far we got. Definitely a really good template to get started. You know, there's a couple things that we probably would adjust or change, but definitely once I get this to you, Robert, it'll be a really good starting point to modify and edit and mold to work the way that you want it to work. Now, once you have this page put together, then in every one of your books, you would want to link to this page, basically saying, preview the first chapter of Vicki Lee Watkins' exciting book, Her Last Spoken Word, right? Click here. And the motivation that people are going to have when they come here is to see that preview of the book so that you get their name and email address, because the whole idea behind setting this up is to sell the book and get their name and email address. Once you have their name and email address, then you can consistently let them know about new books that you have coming out and things of that nature. So do you guys see how it's pretty easy just in an hour to kind of put something together to just produce a starting point? Now we know we need to make a video. A video is pretty easy to make. Just make a 1-minute video just saying, hey, this is my book, or get that made on Fiverr. And then we probably need to get an email management system just to organize the emails. But if you don't have that yet, then you can just go ahead and just collect the emails manually for now. One thing that I wanted to offer you guys, and a lot of you have been asking about setting up hosting and things of that nature. If you're unsure of getting that set up, I have an offer that I can set you up with where my staff can set up a page for you, basically the way that I've set it up here right now. I see a couple of questions coming in, and I'm going to go ahead and answer that just in a moment. Let me clear my workspace here. So basically what I can do for you is I can set up a page pretty much for any product, just intuitively writing what I think should go in each space to make it really easy for you to go in and edit whatever it is that you want to edit. All I need from you is a link to whatever the book or service or product is, and then intuitively I'll just go ahead and put things together for you so that all you have to do is go into WordPress the way that I showed you and edit it instead of having to create it from scratch. Also, this is a great package if you do not have a server or you're not sure how to set up your domain name or anything like that. My staff can help you do that. And then, like I said, it just makes it really easy for you to go in and just edit what needs to be done. So I have a really great special. My staff can do that for you. Do it relatively quickly. It won't take very long at all. You can see it took me about an hour. Once I have the link from you, we can just go ahead and jump right in and put something together. I have a special running right now for $67. I'm only going to have that price available for the next 2 days. It's a very inexpensive price. It's something that I can, put together for you. It's not this isn't a service that I normally offer, but it's something that I can help you with if you have web pages that you are trying to put together and you're just sort of stuck. I can kind of give you that starting point that will help get you on your way. I am going to go through, and you could just go right here to wplistpress.com/go. Once you have your payment logged, I will contact you at your PayPal address. If you have an address that's not your PayPal address that you need me to contact you at, then definitely let me know by emailing me. I'm going to just put that link right here. And then I'm going to start going through these questions here. Okay. Helen, I saw that you had asked a question. I already have a premium theme Would I use this instead of my theme, or do I have to redo the whole site, or is it in addition to? Most likely, if you have a web page already, I'm guessing that the web page you have is either an author page that highlights all of your books and highlights you as an author. There's a difference between a web page that highlights you as an author versus a web page that highlights your book. And the book that's the difference between a landing page and just a general web page. And the reason that I was focusing on landing pages right now is because it's one of the keys to selling more merchandise online, for you to be able to produce effective pages that are going to lead people to buy the things that you are trying to sell. In other words, if you go to a general corporate website, for example, if you go to Mattel.com, you'll see their entire product offerings of all the different toys that Mattel makes. That web page is not necessarily designed to get you to purchase a certain type of Barbie doll or whatever. So that's sort of the idea behind creating a landing page where you're guiding people to buy one specific product. So I hope that that answers your question, Helen. If not, then just let me know. A bunch of other questions here. I'm just kind of going through. The one thing that you will need if you want to take me up on this offer is you do have to have your own license to ListPress. If you don't have your own license yet, then I have a link here that I'm putting in the chat box that you can purchase your license at. Go ahead and pick up the license, and then you can pick up the package for us to set it up for you. Okay, Roger has a question here. Don't understand how landing page coordinates and hooks up with my product or service. For example, say I have a website called rogersantiqueclocks.com. If I use ListPress to make a landing page, where do I put or host this landing page in relation to the main website? I don't get how everything is hooked up and how people get into the landing page versus the main website. Okay, Roger, that's a really good question. Okay, technically, most hosting plans will allow you to host more than one site. So you can have rogersantiqueclocks.com, and then maybe you have a very specific clock that's really popular that a lot of people want. We'll just call it, I don't know, clock bells, the clock bell or something. You know, that could be like the name of the product. Now, you might use that product. The main objective to building a landing page is to sell that particular product and build a mailing list. So those are the sort of, they kind of go in tandem. So you're building a mailing list and you're trying to sell that particular product. As far as how people would get to one or the other, if you are using ads, like for example Facebook ads, if you are driving Facebook ads to a web page or a website, or using the example of, like, you know, the various Kindle books that have links, you don't want to direct people to your general site. You want to direct people to your landing page, because that is all targeted traffic that's ready to make a buying decision. So you want to lead them right to the page that's going to allow them to make the purchase, to give you their email address, or perform whatever action it is that you're trying to get them to perform, which a general web page about all your clocks and your corporate history and all of that is not necessarily going to do. So I hope, Roger, that answers your question as far as how people get to the landing page versus the main web page. It would be through sources of traffic that you are setting up to target people that would be specifically interested in that product or service, either through advertising or through links that exist in various places, such as inside a book, or maybe on a website, on a banner ad, or on a PPC ad, or something like that. Are all the landing pages separate domains? They could be. It depends on, it sort of depends on what your purposes. If you have like 3 books, possibly the books in the series, like if you have books in a series, you could get away with potentially having one landing page for the whole series. If it's a popular series and you have a lot of people that are coming to read each book in the series, it might make sense to build a separate page for each book just to give more opportunities to collect those email addresses, because then that way, you know, you would want to give people the preview to the next book to entice them to buy the book. So it really kind of depends on the level of traffic that you're dealing with. I've worked on projects where they had multiple landing pages, depending on, you know, depending on what the objective is. Initially, if you're just starting out, 1 or 2 landing pages is more than enough until you get the hang of it and until you start getting some activity off of those landing pages, and then build out from there. Hannah is asking, where do I put my affiliate link to promote other products? I hope that I kind of demonstrated that here. Other products I would just use in this section right here, and that is in the books section, add new books. Let's see. Will this work for ClickBank products? Bill, I think I answered your question. Yes, definitely. You can, and if you are a publisher, a lot of times you may promote ClickBank products at the end of your book. You can't put a ClickBank link directly in your book, but you can definitely put a ClickBank link to, or a link to a landing page that is promoting a ClickBank product. So a page such as the one we just created is completely legit to put inside of an Amazon Kindle book. Okay. Someone is asking if they can get more than one web page set up, more than one landing page set up with this special. You definitely can. You just have to order each one separately. Helen is asking if this page would integrate with another site. If I get this to do the landing page, then how do they get to my regular site? Okay, good question. The best way to do that is I would put, oops, right over here when I was showing you how you set up the menus, I would put a link here saying view full site or something like that. And you might have seen that as you're browsing the web. Like we would just go over here to links, and then whatever your main website is, you would put mainsite.com and then call that link something like view full site. Add that to the menu and then save that. And then over here, right there, just say view full site. You could also just have the view full site on the bottom if you wanted to just have view full site on the bottom. It's another way to do it. You could remove it from here, take that off of the footer, save that, create a new menu for the footer by clicking right here where it says create new menu, footer, and then the same thing, you would go over here on the links, main site, view full website. You want that to be on the footer, save right there. And then you could see it says view full website on the bottom. And then you just have your regular links up on the top. You could do it either way. It's just a matter of of preference, as well as how much you're trying to drive people to the specific action that the landing page is attempting to guide. Helen is asking, can you order the Done For You page now and get the work done later? Definitely, I would recommend you do that, even if you want to get it done next week or next month, because the offer won't be available in a month or in a week. So yeah, you could definitely do that. Just reach out to me when you're ready to do it, and I will have a slot laid out for you. I'll actually give you the email address for our VIP support, and you can contact her directly when you're ready. Wonderful, Roger. Glad that I was able to clear that up as far as the role landing pages play with full corporate websites. So I'm glad that I know a lot of people are confused by that. But once you actually start using them and you start understanding the actions that people take based off of the way that you present the information, it becomes pretty clear pretty quickly. Okay, I think I have all of the questions answered. Wonderful. Thank you very much for staying on. If you want to purchase the theme, then just go to wplistpress.com/get/. If you want to purchase the Done For You service, then the web page is right here, listpress.com/go. So let me put that in here. So it's, I'll put that in the chat box. And there you go. And Robert, I just sent you the phone number to get a hold of my VIP support. I'll also see if we can kind of walk you through the activation that you were talking about before, that we were talking about before. Just give her a call today or tomorrow, and we can kind of figure that out. Nicole, how long is the theme available at that price? That is the price of the theme. The Done For You service is the one that will not be available at the end of the week. Helen, if you do pick it up, it would be installed as a theme. It's not a plugin. It would be installed as either a subdomain on your existing domain. So, like for example, if you have, like say for example, let's just say I'm going to pull this up over here. Vicki Lee Watkins, who's the author that we demoed here. So maybe she might have VickiLeeWatkins.com as her domain name. Now she can make subdomains, which would be the name of her book is her last spoken word VickiLeeWatkins.com. That's one way to do it. And then that way you don't have to register new domains for every landing page that you create. I have several domains where I have maybe 10 different landing pages on the same domain, and you could just do that through subdomains. And you can see I kind of have that here in this demo. This is under listpress.com, but I have like a test.listpress.com as my domain, and I'm able to create multiple landing pages on the same domain that way. And that's something that's pretty easy to set up. I can help you set that up if you pick up our Done For You service, or you can contact your support and ask them how they might be able to set up subdomains for you, it's called. Yeah, so liveandgrow.com, that's your website. You can have something instead of www.liveandgrow.com, you can have an entirely different landing page at something.liveandgrow.com. Robert, you wouldn't necessarily have to do a redirect for the landing page, because the landing page is going to have traffic directed from most likely the inside of her other books. So you would just set up the entire web page like we have it here on. Oh, if you already have herlastspokenword.com. Oh, if you have a subdomain for herlastspokenword.com. I mean, there's a variety of ways you could do it. You could have a subdomain, like if you have a regular web page at herlastspokenword.com, which is just sort of not necessarily a more general chronicle or blog of how the book was written or whatever, and you want to have a landing page that's specifically gearing people to purchase the book, then you would definitely use a subdomain, because you would want that to be separate from all the general information about the book. Okay, wonderful. Well, I'm going to close the webinar up. If you guys have any questions at all, then let me know. You can email me. I'll put my email address in the chat box here. And thank you very much for joining me this evening. And any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. Go ahead and grab ListPress now. If you want the Done For You service, just go to listpress.com/go/. That'll get you to the payment option to get the Done For You service, where I will set up your web page for you. Thank you very much. Have a great evening, everybody. Take care.